Hi, I'm Rachel from Away with the Fairies, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a really small scale fairy garden in a thimble. And I'm ably assisted again by Bob the dog, who hopefully is going to be some help today. So I was lucky enough to inherit some of my grandmother's thimble collection that we used to marvel at as children. So I've picked out some here that have flat bases, so they're going to be ideal for our fairy garden in a thimble project. So if you don't have any thimbles at home, they can be picked up really cheaply at a haberdashery or craft store, so they're really easy to get hold of. So I've got myself this little slice of wood, which came in a pack from a craft store, or it's something you could cut yourself at home. So I'm going to use that as a base for my thimble fairy arrangement. Then I've got my 3 thimbles. As I said before, these have got quite good flat bases. So they should stand, but what I'm going to do is do a dot of hot glue just to keep them in place. So I'm going to get my glue gun. So this is just to keep them balanced, so we don't want them rolling off our piece of wood. So just a dot on the base of each one, and then attach it to the wood. So for those of you that have worked with a hot glue gun before, you know they do get really hot, so if you're doing the project with kids, just be mindful of that, but they're a really handy tool. So the next stage is to fill our thimbles with a little bit of potting compost, and I'm going to be using tweezers because it's on such a tiny scale and it's going to be a lot easier. So just start filling the thimbles with a little bit of compost. So this is just ordinary potting compost. There's no drainage in the thimbles, but they shouldn't really need it because we're not going to be watering very often. And then when you finish doing that, just blow away the excess soil so that your wood is nice and clean. So next we're going to talk about the plants. You can use little cuttings from alpines or succulents. So I've just taken some here from some sedum. This one you can see already has some little roots, so that's going to grow perfectly. So the pressure's obviously got too much for Bob, and he's just sleeping in the sunshine, so not much help at all. So I'm going to add the plants now. I'm going to use the tweezers again because they're really handy. So I'm going to start with the one that already has the roots, and I'm going to put that in the middle thimble. Just press it into the soil with your tweezers, and then I'm going to add my other cuttings to the other 2 thimbles. So hopefully they're going to take root. We'll keep them watered, just keep an eye on them. If they don't work out, we'll just try again. So how do you water something this small, you might ask? So what I'm going to do is use a syringe. This is one that we use for refilling our ink cartridges. I've popped water in it, and I'm just going to add a few drops to each thimble. So Bob's been sacked for sleeping on the job, so we're going to try Twig, who looks a bit perkier, so she might work out a little better as an assistant. To finish off the fairy thimble scene, I'm going to add these cute little wooden ladybirds. I'm going to use my glue gun again and just pop them in front of the thimbles. I picked these up from my local craft store, so I'm just going to put a dot of glue on each one and then pop it in front of the thimble. So you could display it on a windowsill with some fairies around it, or I'm going to try it in a fairy garden. Here's my fairy herb garden that I made on another project. So I hope you enjoyed watching how to make a fairy thimble garden. The dogs are now finally involved and still not being very helpful, but it's a lovely project to do with the kids. So I hope you have lots of fun making it. Bye.